Come in, come in, come in. Come on in, sit down. Have some wine, have some olives. In a few moments, the dancing girls will come out. I will clap my hands and we will enjoy smoking our hookahs and exchanging philosophy and wisdom. So, right now, tonight, today, a little bit later in the evening for me, we're going to talk about the sovereign person and the meaning of pleasure. Okay. Yeah, there is a truth that most people never learn. Actually, let me put this back up here. There's a truth that most people they never learn because most people never rise high enough in themselves to see it. Pleasure is not indulgence, it's intelligence. Pleasure is information. A sovereign person understands this. They understand that pleasure is a vital part of human life, not just for the body, but for the mind, for the heart, for the spirit, for the community. Pleasure is how humans bond. It's how trust is formed. It's how safety is felt, and it is how life becomes worth living. The pleasure of sound, the pleasure of strings. And so the sovereign person does not fear pleasure. He doesn't apologize for it, doesn't weaponize it, and doesn't chase it blindly. What does a sovereign person do? They steward pleasure, they steward it. Yeah, they understand that both sides of the equation are very important, pleasing others and also being pleased by others. Very important. Both matter, both are necessary, and both are part of the emotional economy of a healthy life. Yes. Yes. Pleasing others. Let's talk about that. All right, to please another person genuinely, cleanly, without manipulation. It's an act of generosity, that's all. Hospitality. Yeah. It's the art of creating warmth and ease and beauty in human interactions. It's the ability to bring comfort without losing yourself, to bring joy without warming, bring refinement without pretending. This is where the sovereign people are often beloved across classes and cultures. Why? Because they bring pleasure into the room simply by being aligned with themselves. They don't flatter, they don't pander, they don't contort. No, they offer presence, clarity, and kindness, and that's enough. But there's another dimension here that we need to understand. Being pleased by others, yes. This is where most people collapse. Yeah, most people feel guilty receiving pleasure. They shrink from it, they apologize for it, they distrust it, they sabotage it too sometimes. But the sovereign person, he doesn't do these things. Yeah. They allow themselves to be pleased because they understand that pleasure is relational nourishment. It's how humans feel valued, seen, and supported. They refuse pleasure is to refuse connection. To refuse connection is to refuse life. And I will say that when a sovereign person refuses pleasure, there's a reason. Some intuition says that's dangerous. Okay. The sovereign person receives pleasure with dignity, not greed, with gratitude, not guilt, and with openness, not suspicion. Yeah. But there is a class divide, and we should all be aware of this. Different classes have different customs around pleasure. You know, the laboring class, they often see pleasure as a break from their suffering. It's like a momentary escape. The elite class, bless their soul, often sees pleasure as refinement, as a cultivated art, things you find in dance halls and museums. But across all classes, one truth remains, and this is that the sovereign person is stable, predictable, and deeply satisfying to be around because they do not distort pleasure. They don't use pleasure to control. They don't use pleasure to manipulate. They don't use it to dominate, and they don't use it to escape. They use it to connect. Yeah. Now, very important that we need to talk about the sovereign relationship to a displeasure. This is where sovereignty becomes unmistakable. Now, hear me out. A sovereign person does not operate from displeasure, not because they suppress it, but because they understand its cost. Displeasure, it clouds the judgment, it distorts communication, it poisons the environment, it diminishes dignity, and it harms the community. So, what does the sovereign person do? They speak their displeasure, they address it, they correct it. Not with aggression, not with collapse, but with dignified clarity and compassion. And if the environment refuses correction, if the person insists on remaining in conflict, misery, and self inflicted misery, the sovereign person does not stay. Oh no. They do not enable it, they do not join it, and they do not negotiate with it. You know the old saying, they shake the dust from their feet. They withdraw their presence. They find more suitable conditions for sharing and they protect their inner life. Because sovereignty is not martyrdom, it is not endurance, and it is not self sacrifice. It is alignment. So let's wrap it up here. Let's distill this little treatise on pleasure. A sovereign person honors pleasure as a vital human truth, both in giving and receiving. They do not operate from displeasure, nor do they tolerate it in others. They address it with clarity, compassion, and dignity. And if correction is refused, they withdraw their presence, for sovereignty cannot coexist with self-chosen suffering. This is a pillar teaching. This is Avalon. And this is the way. All right. Well, with that, I would say until I see you again, remain